Yes, I recorded for you too. Yeah, I did. Yeah. But you have to know where to go on Schoology to find them. So we can go over that today too. If you're gone and you need to find the videos, I can show you where they are on Schoology. So, nope. So the first one here, hopefully when you solved this, you did -7, right?
Yes. Of course.
And then you got 2x, 12, and then you divide by 2, and you get an actual answer for x. Okay? If I asked you to solve this equation for x, the only thing you're going to be able to do is to move the things over, right?
What?
So if I'm going to solve this for x, wouldn't I go -7?
No.
If I'm solving for x, you got to do add and subtract first. But can you actually do y -7?
No.
To get an answer, to get a number? No. So the only thing you can do is kind of rearrange the equation, right? And now I can divide by 2. But when I divide by 2, do I actually get one answer, one numeric answer? I get this kind of crazy fraction, right? So the question is, what's the difference between this equation and this one that I couldn't actually get an answer, a number answer?
You stuck a y in there.
Stuck a y in there. So that means I had how many letters?
2.
2. If you want to know the answer to an equation that has 2 letters, you have to have 2 equations. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. That is our system. That's the new part for this. So when there are 2 variables, that's letters, you need 2 equations to solve it. Okay? When you have 3 letters, x, y, and z, this is algebra 2, you will need 3 equations to solve. Okay? A system.
What about 5?
Then you would need 5 equations. Okay? A system of equations is 2 or more equations. So if I have more than one equation, I'm dealing with a system. So when I say the word system, all that means is that I have multiple equations. So 2 or more equations. Okay? What's my answer going to be? The solution is the answer. How do I know when I have the answer? I'm going to give you the definition of this in terms of graphing. Okay, because that's what we're going to do first today. But the solution of a system is the point x comma y that is on both lines. So it's the one dot that satisfies both lines, is on both lines. Okay? Our unit, right? 3 standards, 1 unit is all about solving, and there's 3 methods to do so. Okay, first method, that's what we're going to do today, is graphing. We'll spend today and Monday on graphing, and then we take our assessment and we move on to the next one. The next type is substitution. And the last one is elimination.
Substitution.
And elimination. Now, graphing is wonderful if the answer is nice and pretty numbers. Okay, nice, pretty whole numbers. But what you're going to see today, even on your homework, is that sometimes it doesn't come out to be nice, pretty whole numbers. And so that means that graphing is probably not the best method. Substitution is a great method, but only when it's a y equals equation. You will get to that. And elimination is kind of the catch-all. You can use elimination pretty much for anything. Okay, but it takes a little bit longer time to do it. So each one has its good and bad. But what we're going to do today is we're going to start with the graphing, and then we'll go on to the other 2. Here is 2 graphed equations. How many answers are there?
1. 3.
7. Okay, remember, the answer, the solution is the one point that's on both graphs. Okay? How many points are on both lines?
7.
This one right here.
1.
This is one answer. There is one solution here. One answer. And that answer happens to be the 3, 1
Uno.
point. how many times do these two lines share a point?
0.
0. No, none times, right? So none times. There is no solution for this one.
And
Infinite many?
Ooh, that's something we've said before, right? We've used no solution and infinitely many as like two options. So if this one's no solution, what about these two lines? Wait a minute.
How do you know those two?
There's not two lines there. Because I'm dealing with a system, if you have a system and it ends up looking like this, it just means that the two lines were actually the same line. And if the two lines are the same line, they have an infinite,
Many.
infinitely many solutions. They have an infinite number of points that are the same. So that's infinitely many. Remember we used to call that just IMS, right? You just wrote IMS for infinitely many solutions, or NS for no solution. Okay? We're going to focus on all of the ones that you're going to see today are going to look like this. They're actually going to cross. So our focus today is being able to graph in all forms. Okay, so we're going to turn the page. Okay,
How do you do level 2?
hang on. We're going to turn the page. Now there's a lot of stuff here, okay, and we're going to come back to that. We're going to turn actually to the next page.
Oh my god.
All the way up at the top here. So what we want to do is we want to practice this enough that we can do it in any form. So we kind of skipped over some of the fill in the blank stuff and get right to it, okay? We're going to start graphing at this point right here that is our y-intercept. Okay, so our first dot is going to be at -2. So -2, -1, -2 is right here. That's your first dot. Okay, and then from there, your second dot is going to be using the slope of 3. So if my slope is 3, means I'm going to go up 3 over 1. Don't forget the over 1. So from here, let's go up 3. You might be thinking, I know that, Miss Bosenberg, but listen to this new part. Before, when we graphed these, we just graphed 2 dots and we drew a line, right? If you do that for this, and you draw a line, and you're not a master line drawer, right? And you do this, there's a good chance that when these 2 lines actually cross, you're not going to be able to tell where they actually cross because your line is terrible. Okay, so instead of doing that,
That's what I do.
let's go and do a couple of points so that I know for certain where the 2 lines cross. Because if you draw 2 lines and they're kind of wonky and your point where they cross is wrong, the answer is wrong. Okay, you've got 4 questions on this assessment, and if we don't find exactly where they cross, it's wrong. Yes?
why don't we just use rulers?
You can use a ruler, but it's still the same. You have to make sure that you line the ruler up correctly. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to go up 3 over 1, then just do it again. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Just have a couple dots on the line, and then also maybe go 1 in the opposite direction. Okay, this is something that we haven't required. So today is about being precise and making sure you know how to go forward with the slope and backward with the slope. So instead of going up 3 and right 1, I'm going to go down 3 and left 1. Okay, now I can go ahead and draw my line. And it's okay if it's a little wonky. Oop, I missed a little bit. Totally fine. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and do the second line. Let's do the second line. It's going to start at 3. Let's go 1, 2, 3. That's my first dot. And then from there, my slope is going to be down 2 over 1. When you do your second line, you don't have to do 100 points. It's when you get 2 points that cross, you can be done. The answer's already there. So I'm going to go down 2 and to the right 1. That, boom, I found it, right? There's my answer. So my answer for that one is the point 1, 1.
Sweet.
Okay? Take a quick timeout. Let's see if you can do and find the answer for this number 4. So over here, we're going to graph this slope-intercept line first by starting at a positive 1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Ready? We're going to put a dot on the y-axis at positive 1. Here we go, right there. There it is. Then, from there, my slope is right here. My slope is that fraction 1 over 4. Which means I'm going to go up 1 to the right 4. Up 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again, just in case. Up 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then do it backwards once. Okay? So if you just went up and to the right, now let's go down and to the left. Right? That was not a requirement before, but now you should do that because otherwise it might be hard to find the answer. Okay, so we're also going to go down 1, left 4. Okay, and I hope I hit it. I hope it's one of those. Okay?
It is.
Okay, now second line. This is one we haven't done yet. Okay? This gets you to a level 2. In level 2, one of the equations is going to be in slope-intercept form, and then the second equation is going to be in some other form. Okay? So this other form is point slope. We just took point slope yesterday, so when we did, what were the coordinates of the point that you pulled out of that equation? 3, positive 3, and negative 2. Very good. Negative 2. Positive 3 and negative 2. Okay? Graph that point. Positive 3, negative 2, it's down over here. Okay, so positive 3, negative 2, about right there. Okay, positive 3, negative 2, right there.
Slope plus 2. I mean negative 2.
Yep, my slope now, so my slope is this fraction right here. So my slope is negative 2 and 7. When I go down 2 and to the right 7, see how I'm going away from the line? So you can do that. You can go down 2 over 7 or head back towards the line by going up 2 and left 7. Kind of up to you. You can do them both. Okay, so down 2, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that's not going to get me towards my line, so I'm going to go the other way as well. Up 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's
Okay.
Negative 4, 0.
Negative 4, 0. Negative 4, 0. There we go. Okay. Okay. The last one that we need to talk about is solving a system that has a graph that's in standard form. Okay, so this is the last one that shows up throughout your homework as if it's in standard form, which is this number 6. And then I can keep doing more if you'd like to see more, or you can just jump over to your homework. So number 6 has an equation that's in standard form that you need to solve for y first. Okay, so in standard form, this is how you do it. I gave you a little box that you can do it over here. So let's take this equation. And you've got to solve that for y, which we just did with parallel and perpendicular. Right? So solve that for y. So add or subtract your x part and then divide. This one doesn't require a divide. Some of them might. Some of them might not. This one doesn't require it. I'm going to subtract that 3x.
3.
So y equals, yep, my negative 3 is going to be my x. Just write that part first. Don't add.